Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to knit your very own messy bun beanie. This pattern is extremely beginner friendly. It just uses the most basic knit stitches, purl stitches, and the most basic techniques. So if you're pretty new to knitting, you'll probably be able to make this hat. It's super cute, and enjoy my little tiny bun for my short hair. But if you want to find the written pattern for this, just check out my blog that I have linked down below. I have the written pattern on there for it, as well as most of my tutorials. And if you decide to make this hat pattern yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Lunar Knits by Lori. Same way it's here on YouTube, and you might have a chance to be featured. So if you want to see how to create your very own messy bun beanie, just keep watching. So what you'll need to create your very own messy bun beanie is a weight 6 yarn, a super bulky. This is in Loose and Threads Kaleidoscope, and it's in the colorway Amethyst. I don't believe that they sell this yarn anymore, so just find yourself a light weight 6 yarn. I wouldn't even say that this is a weight 6. I'd classify it as more of a weight 5. So if you have a weight 5 yarn laying around, I think that would be your best bet. And this is about 77 yards. You don't need the entire thing of it, so I'd say about 60 yards you'll be safe to make an adult size beanie. Then you will need 9mm 16-inch circular knitting needles. You'll want a pair of scissors. You'll also want a tapestry needle to weave in any ends, and a stitch marker to mark the beginning of your round. So we're going to be creating an adult size beanie. So we're going to go ahead and start with a slip knot, and using the long tail cast on method, we are going to cast on 44 stitches. So just go ahead and cast on your 44 stitches. Now, if you want to adjust the sizing of this hat, it's fairly simple. You'll just add or subtract a total of 4 stitches. You have to do this in multiples of 4 just because of the pattern in the ribbing here. It's a 2x2 ribbing, and that needs to be done in stitches of 4. So just go ahead and add 4 or take 4 away depending on the size that you're wanting. But for this sizing, I'm going to go ahead and cast on 44. So I've casted on my 44 stitches, and I'm going to just place my ring there for my stitch marker. The other one's loop is a little too small for these needles, but regardless, we're gonna go ahead and create our 2x2 ribbing. So we're going to knit the first 2 stitches. So you'll just insert your needle from front to back and wrap around. Now you want to make sure your stitches are not twisted before you start this step, or you'll have a twisted brim, and that's not going to be fun later on. So we've knit our first 2 stitches, and we're going to purl our second 2. So we'll take our needle, insert it from this side like so, and wrap and purl again. And then we're going to do 2 more knit stitches, and this is how we're going to create that 2x2 ribbing on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and continue the 2x2 knit 2 purl 2 ribbing for a total of 7 rounds, so we get a nice brim for our hat. So go ahead and continue this pattern until you have 7 rounds of ribbing. Alright, so I finished my 7 rows of ribbing, and I am ready to start the first section of my hat. So the section right here, the first ridge, if you will. So to create that ridge, you're going to purl every stitch in the round, and you're gonna do that for a total of 3 rounds. So purl all the stitches for 3 rounds, and you do that just by inserting your needle like so, and wrapping around the top, and pulling through and off. So just do that for a total of 3 rounds, and then I'll come back to you and show you the next section. Okay, so I finished my first ridge here. So my first 3 rounds of purling to create that first ridge, and now we're gonna work on this valley here. So the valley just consists of 3 rounds of knitting. So we're gonna slip our marker, and we're going to knit for 3 rounds. So you insert your hook or your needle from front to back like so, and wrap. And you'll just do this for a total of 3 rounds. And then once you do 3 rounds, you're going to create another ridge, so another 3 rows of purling. So after you create your valley here, go ahead and create 3 more rounds of purling, and then 3 more rounds of knitting. So you'll have 2 ridges and 2 valleys, and then I'll come back to you and show you what we do from there. So I just finished creating my valley, my ridge, and then my other valleys. So we have a total of 2 ridge sections and 2 valley sections. created by a series of purls and knits. But now we're going to go ahead and continue on and create this ridge section right here. So to start the first section, you're just going to purl every stitch of the next round. So we're just going to continue on purling like we would normally to create a ridge. Okay, so I just purled around and I'm back at the beginning. And now we're going to work a decrease round. So you're going to start by purling the first 2 stitches like normal. And then we're gonna purl the next 2 stitches together. So we're just going to go through both stitches and purl them. And then you're going to purl the next 2 stitches as normal. And then you're gonna purl the next 2 stitches together. So we're gonna continue this pattern all the way around, purling 2 stitches, and then purling 2 stitches together. And this is going to help decrease our hat. And I'll come back to you whenever I've completed that round. Okay, so I just completed my decrease round and I ended on a purl 2 together like you should. We're going to continue on to the next round of the ridge. So we're just going to continue by purling every single stitch of this round. So just go around and purl like normal. All right, I finished that final round of purling and we're going to continue on to our final valley round. So for that, we're going to go ahead and knit every stitch around until you get back to the beginning. So just like normal, knit all of your stitches. I've knit my way back around to the beginning and now I'm going to create another decrease round. So for that, I'm going to knit 1 stitch and then knit 2 stitches together. So you're gonna knit 1 stitch, knit 2 stitches together. So you'll do that by just going through 2 stitches and creating a normal knit stitch. So you'll continue this pattern all the way around, knitting 1 stitch and then knitting the next 2 stitches together. All right, so I finished that decrease round, ending with a knit 2 stitches together like you should. I'm going to slip my marker and I'm going to finish off the last of the valley sections. So I'm going to knit every single stitch around. Now at this point, you'll see that your stitches are getting kind of tight. So if you want to switch to double pointed needles, now would be a good time to do that. I'm more of a just kind of make it work kind of gal, so I'll knit until I can't possibly knit anymore. But I'm going to go ahead and knit all the stitches in this round and then I'll come back to you for the final ridge round. Okay, so we finished our final valley section and now we're going to start on the very final section, which is going to be a ridge section. And to do that, we are going to go ahead and purl every single stitch of this round, just like normal. So purl all your stitches. All right, so I've purled every stitch and now I'm going to do another decrease round, but I just wanted to show you the top of this hat and show you how large the hole is. Just in case you want a larger hole, this section will kind of change a little bit. This is how big the hole is for this beanie. I kind of like a smaller hole. I do have shorter hair, but if you want a larger hole, I will tell you how to modify that in this section right here. So if you want a smaller hole like this hat has, you're going to decrease on this round. If you want a larger hole, you will skip the decreases and just purl every single stitch around. But for the smaller hole like I'm going to create, you're going to do another decrease round. So you will purl 2 and then purl 2 stitches together like we did before. So purl 2 and purl 2 stitches together. So your stitches will get pretty tight now if you're decreasing again. So again, you could switch to double pointed needles if you feel more comfortable doing that. I'm not going to, but you definitely can. And again, if you do not want the smaller hole and you want a bit of a larger hole for your beanie, go ahead and just purl every single stitch and don't worry about decreasing any. But if you're going to make a smaller hole, you'll just purl 2 and then purl the 2 stitches together. So I finished the very last decrease round and now we're going to do the very last round before we bind off. So you'll just purl all the stitches around until you get back to your stitch marker. So just go ahead and purl all your stitches. So that finishes up your last ridge section. So I'm gonna go ahead and slip my marker off of there and put it back on my finger so we don't lose it. And we are going to finish off our hat. So to do so, you're just going to do a basic bind off, but you wanna make sure that you keep it kind of loose. So I'll go ahead and knit the first stitch, and I'll do that a little bit looser than I normally would. I will knit the second stitch, and then I will pass over the first stitch over the second stitch, making sure to keep it loose like I said. And then we'll knit the next stitch and we'll keep doing that. Pass it over, knit the next stitch, pass it over, and just do your typical bind off. If you want to do a stretchier bind off, you're more than welcome to, but I just like the basic bind off and I just keep it loose. So I'm going to go ahead and finish casting off and I'll show you the finished product. All right, so I've just binded off all my stitches, and now I'm going to insert my needle into the first stitch there and just connect the two ends so it looks a little bit nicer, and I'll just treat that as if it's another bind off stitch. And then I'm going to cut my yarn, leaving a tail for weaving, and finish that off there. And so you have your hole in the top, and there you have your messy bun beanie. So these will look a little small whenever you are finished with them, but that's the design that it is. It's meant to stretch a lot. So with the ridges and the valleys, it makes it shrink, but once you put it on, it really stretches out. And same with the 2x2 ribbing. It's a very stretchy ribbing. So don't be alarmed if your hat comes out looking a little small. It'll probably still fit. But again, just remember you can adjust the sizing by adding or subtracting 4 stitches. And I just wanted to show you about how much yarn I have left from the skein. This was a full skein, so it doesn't take very much yarn at all. Like I said, this is 77 yards and I have this much remaining. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial for this knit messy bun beanie. And if you have any questions or any requests, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hi. Okay, I came to help, but I thought it would be fun to include how I put on my messy bun beanies, just because why the heck not? So I just put my hair up in a messy bun as best as I could. I have pretty short hair, so it all falls down, but I like to pull out some sections here just so it doesn't look like I'm bald when I wear my hats. And I just take my bun hat and I stick my hand through the hole and grab my bun and pull it through. And then I just take the rest of the hat and I pull it on like normal. And there you go. You just adjust it accordingly and get your bun as messy as you would like. And there you have it. It's as easy as that to put on one of your messy bun beanies. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye.